Okay, this is what we're working on today. This one has a rusted through heat exchanger, secondary heat exchanger, so got to change primary, secondary out. So we got to cut the intake here, get the exhaust off there. So let me get working on this. I already cut the trap out of there. So let me start working on this here. Also got to change the blower motor. That was the original problem why I was out here on the service call. Make sure you keep the standoffs on there. Then we gotta change the blower motor. Get this off here. Get this cut out and start taking the heat exchanger out. Okay, we're ready to slide this unit out. I took off the whole burner box, full assembly all at once, the blower out. Keep in mind when you're changing these heat exchangers, there's 2 5/16 screws for the blower, and then there's also another 2 5/16 screws down here that hold the bottom of the heat exchanger to the lower deck. So let's get this thing in. Sometimes they're a real pain, they don't want to come out. It says do not lift here, but do we have a choice? No. Oh boy. She's not going to come out easy. There we go. Oh, look at that. You gotta prop this up out of the way. It goes right through. See my teeth? Can't get the right position where I want it. See, my T-handle went right through it. Right there. Let me put the camera down for a minute. If you look right there, I'll step through. Other than that, That's what I seen on the camera when I was looking at it. So that's what happens to these units. If the units aren't pitched right towards the front of the heat exchanger, all that condensation sits in the back and just rots the heat exchangers out. So what we got to do is I got everything. I get the secondary, the primaries, the coupling box, the inlet plate, the outlet plate. So let's get this thing rebuilt, all new parts, and get a blower motor in it. And this is on a real popular furnace. This is a 340 MAV048100, 1997. This is a serial code. But look up here. Oh, look at that. I wonder why it doesn't cool very well. Yeah, not everything's going through the coil. So, yeah, we're going to have to fix that. No wonder why he complains is the AC doesn't work very well. Okay, I'll start putting it back together. Okay, what I'm looking at, this is that same 340 MAV furnace. Now, you can see all the polypropylene lining is actually gone and it's starting to rust and rot. Well, this cell is almost plugged. A lot of them are almost plugged. So what happens is, you see this one's plugged up with stuff. What happens is you know, even on furnaces that are still running with no holes in the bottom of them, the back of these heat exchangers get plugged up, and then you'll get a high CO condition. You know, we're talking 1,000, 3,000 parts per million carbon monoxide if these start getting plugged up. But yeah, this one is definitely, you know, even without the hole being there, would have been condemned just due to the fact is this heat exchanger is partially plugged. And for the customer, you know, it's if I can't get the flue gases through, it's going to ruin the efficiency of the furnace. Usually on these furnaces, the only time you'll have primary failure, you know, with the primary heat exchanger is when I've only seen these primaries fail on a downflow furnace. Upflow furnaces, I never see the primaries fail. I always see the secondaries fail. So let me get this thing apart and get it out of here and get the new one in. One other thing to note on these types of furnaces is that some of these have an air baffle on the back to redirect air towards the limit. And only on certain models of these furnaces, these 90% efficient Bryant carrier furnaces, that this plate will be here. And if you don't put the plate back in, what happens is it doesn't redirect the air, and the air goes right up the back of the heat exchanger and doesn't wash the limit over here. The limits between these cells, between these two cells. Now, if it doesn't wash the limit, nuisance trips, just keeps on tripping the limit. So you got to make sure when you do these heat exchangers, you put this plate back in. If you don't, you'll be coming back, tearing it all apart just to put that plate back in there. And keep in mind, all these furnaces do not come with this. It's only select models. So if you're doing a heat exchanger change out, you got to be sure to note if it has that plate or not. Okay, we're getting ready to get this heat exchanger back in. About an hour later, we got this all panned off, blocked off, so we're shoving everything through the coil. So let me get that heat exchanger in here and go from there. Okay, as you can see, we got the heat exchanger back in. Got the gasket for the burner box up here.
Let me throw a little caulk on there just to get it to stick, so I'm not trying to do two things at once. So now we're starting to put it back together, so we're going to put it together the same way we took it apart. Burner box was the last thing off. I'm going to go to the limit. I'm going to go to the inducer motor. And then we'll get all the electric, hooked up. I got to change the blower motor out. So, we got the old gasket on here. Hold this up and get one side in. One more screw in here, just to hold it. There we go. There's like 6 screws up here. So let me get this back together. I'll start taping again. Okay, we're gonna put the harness back on, wire it up. Gotta make sure one thing, got a good burner ground. We're gonna attach that back there. Gotta have the ground in or it won't work. With the 90s go up here, roll out limit. And here's your gas valve. Pressure switch. Limit. Sensor. Already got the inducer plugged in there. Well, not too much to wire it up. We got obviously high power that's got to go over here to the switch. I already do have my blower motor in. I got to put my ends on. Get those to the proper terminals right there and there. Spare, neutral. We're almost done with this. It's a 4-hour project. Keep trying to get this heat exchanger in and out. So let me finish up a little more. Okay, we got everything back together. Got all our condensate hoses on, our condensate trap in. We replaced an elbow there because it was rotting away. Replaced a coupling here because I didn't like the other one. That's for the exhaust. Replaced the hose back here because it was deteriorating. Put our coupling in here for our fresh air, or combustion air. But we got everything back together. It's up and running. And I think that's it for this one. I got to check the air conditioning because someone didn't block off the coil. So we got to see if it's overcharged. So, and this is a Bryant 340MAV048100 4-ton 100,000 BTU furnace. And that's it for this one.